recon work has identified the last fuel depot. Go and bomb it flat. Target: a group of fuel production bases. The enemy is using its top guns in this theater. Keep focused and good hunting.
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Bingo! Yahoo! Bingo! Yahoo! On our left. Bogey on our 6. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution.
Jesus! Great shot! Take off! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our tail. On our right. Up ahead. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Fire. Shoot down. Enemy target located. Up ahead. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Enemy missile approaching. Dive. Dive. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Stay with him. Back one! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Great shot! Altitude too low. Flying. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Out. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Wasted! Enemy target located. Enemy bingo! Yahoo! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him away! Bogey on our tail! On our right! Bogey at 12 o'clock! Fire! Shoot it down! Back one! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy target located. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Back one. Enemy targets located. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Back one. Enemy targets located. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead. On our left. Up ahead. Bogey on our 6. Stay with him. On our left. Up ahead. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead. Bogey on our 6. Fire. Shoot it down. Jesus, take off. One. Locked on us. One. Missile approaching. Dive. Dive. Broken. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Bogey on our 6. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. And missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Enemy targets located. Fire! Shoot it down! Great shot! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in bogey on our 6. Back one. Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Toast! Enemy in sight. Bingo! Yahoo! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. On our right. Great shot. Bogey on our tail. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Stay with great shot! Take off! He's wasted! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Wasted! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Mission accomplished.